عليكم ورحمة الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My talk today is on socializing with robots, trying to bridge our interactions with machines. This is a brief overview of the presentation. I'll talk about the Quranic perspective, some characteristics of people that are relevant, some characteristics of robots that are relevant, what is driving us to socialize with machines, and some interesting discussions on social robotics. In Surah Al-Kahf, the subject matter of the surah is very pertinent to the subject matter of this presentation. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is reported to have said that the knowledge in this surah is a shield against the Dajjal, which is pertinent to our current time. It expands on the fact that we have a global civilization for the first time. We are seeing great inventions. There are significant scientific discoveries to the extent that people don't even believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists, and science is enough to get a complete understanding of the universe. People are social beings. We like interacting with each other. We like interacting with our environment. We can live in very simple hamlet settings, but we prefer to live in complex, well-sophisticated environments. We have a lot of dependency on technology as a result of that, and we keep increasing the complexity of our environment and increasing our dependency on this technology. Robots are just machines. They are machines that are able to perform certain things. Every robot has a certain degree of autonomy, meaning that it can do something without someone using it. So if you need to get a cow to plow, and you have to hook the plow on your own, it's a machine, but it's not a robot. But if you can maybe tell the cow, please plow this field for me, and it can happen, then you're dealing with robotics. So how are you able to change from direct human intervention to being able to get a system to perform a task on its own? You need a system to be able to move on its own, to be able to deform itself and make some changes. You need a system to be reliable. If it only works when the sun is up and it cannot work on a rainy day, then it's not really a system that is serving right. You need it to be available. You need to be able to call it on demand. You need to make sure it is safe, that it's not causing harm in its processes. And you need to make sure that when it gets better at something and it can do it today, it can also do it tomorrow. So what is leading to these? Our whole environment has changed in three different ways. Our society itself has changed. We used to live in small individual hamlets where our scope of reference was mainly our family. We started building agrarian society when communities were in the hundreds. Then we built industrial societies that started spanning mass geographical units. And now we have a globalized society. At the same time, the products we rely on has changed. We used to rely more on natural products. Now more and more of the products that we rely on are manufactured, including our food. Majority of us eat more manufactured food than actually naturally grown food. And as a result of that, industrialization has also changed. Industrialization moved from being able to make one small thing well, being able to work on a massive scale, and now we are moving at being able to customize every single individual unit to suit every single individual user. So that transformation is also another driver of making us want to interact more closely with the systems that help us. So when we talk about social robotics, here are the opportunities. We are able to build systems that are able to be self-starters. They are able to interact with us in a team, and they are able to behave in an autonomous manner. They are able to perform increasingly complex tasks as a result of this. And because you're able to perform complex tasks, you're able to interact with them just as any other team member. They're able to continuously adapt to us, meaning that you don't have to go back and manually do training and calibration as often as you do with regular systems. And as a result of that, it's like having another individual on your team and it's able to give time back to people. So those are the opportunities. What are some of the challenges? This is supposed to be a video. Okay, apparently it's working. Let me see if I can mute it. Okay. There are a lot of challenges with robotics. I decided to highlight 3 and one wider challenge. The first challenge is that robotics is really hard. If you see a robotics video, it is a lot of time to be able to get any machine to be able to perform at that level. It is hard technically, it is hard to be able to build a product and to deliver it. Another is that you can always improve your system, and continuous improvement requires taking data back, putting data back into the system, and it is quite complicated. And it's also very hard to make it reliable. So if you looked at this video, we have a robot that is interacting with different systems. It is operating an elevator, it is walking down the hallway, it is delivering an item from one place to another. Very mundane task for a human being. Extremely difficult technical challenges to be able to engineer. But another wider impact is that if a robot can do this, then the question is, if I am a business serving a product, will I rather rely on an individual person rather than a robot to do it? Is it going to damage the relationship between labor and investment? In summary, this is a very conclusive and seminal point made by Hazrat Khalifa Masih IV. In summary, there is a limit that evolution has set, not because it is a hard ceiling, but the fact that evolution, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a huge head start. And if you look at some of the problems that we solve in robotics, nothing that we are building comes even close to the complexity and the reliability of human biological systems. One note that I'll make is that I worked on a project where we're trying to get a robot to be able to see a human face. And you put in all the most complicated algorithms to solve the problem. It didn't work. One thing changed the whole experience by just changing one aspect of the lighting. A slight change of the lighting threw the robot off completely, meaning that there's a limit to how much the technology can go, but still there is a lot that we can do to improve our interaction between human beings and machines. Jazakumullah.